everybody, it's Rini. I hope you're doing well. So I would say for the last few weeks, maybe a month now, you may have noticed on your social media platforms news about a man named Brian Johnson, or you may have seen posts from Mr. Johnson himself, and that's Brian with a Y, by the way. In a nutshell, Brian Johnson is a gentleman who about 10 years ago sold his company to PayPal for $800 million. I'll say that again, $800 million. He resides in Southern California, and for the past 2 years or so, and for many millions of dollars, he's been conducting an experiment of sorts. Basically, I think what one could call the ultimate makeover. He states that there was a point in his life where he was very overweight. He would spend his evenings basically eating junk food, was depressed, was basically miserable, and just decided it was time to just kind of, do it all over. Due to his, very deep pockets, he is able to basically have in his home his own medical lab and his own team of scientists and doctors. And he utilizes these folks in trying to, I guess, increase his lifespan. So just some quick fun facts about that. In 2021, again, after a couple of years of working with the scientists and doctors, he has reduced his epigenetic age by approximately 5 years. He claims that he has now slowed aging. He's aging slower than the average 10-year-old. He has put together all his findings on a website called blueprint.brianjohnson.co. Let me just double check that. Yes, blueprint.brianjohnson.co, co, not com, just co. And I'll put this in the description box. And his mission statement, if you will, is 2 years and millions were spent developing Blueprint. An algorithm that takes better care of me than I can myself. Now you can build your autonomous self as well. This is one of these websites where you just basically have to, I don't know if I can even really describe it properly. You have to go on, check it out. He basically lays out what he eats in a day, what his exercise regimen is, and all the measurable results from various tests that the doctors and scientists, take and measure practically on a daily basis to show his progress. He has a vegan lifestyle. He eats vegan. I think his only exception, he states, is he uses collagen peptides that are not vegan based. He takes or claims that he takes 100 supplements per day and has a specific diet that he adheres to. And this is all listed in the website. So just for fun, I thought I would do a little Brian Johnson treasure hunt, scavenger hunt, if you will, in my pantry, where I keep my skincare items, just to see what do I have that he has on his list. Now, for the most part, he doesn't really give brand names, with the exception of the CeraVe PM lotion. And there are some links to things like on Amazon and other websites. So what you see here is maybe not the exact brands that Brian Johnson uses in his diet and skincare regimen, but in some cases close enough. So for example, he does use collagen peptides. As I mentioned, he specifically cites CeraVe, the PM facial moisturizer. He does use a vitamin C and E ferulic acid serum. Mine happens to be timeless. He does use, sunscreen, as we all should, on a daily basis for UVA and UVB protection, a gentle cleanser, flaxseed, walnuts. What do we have here? Macadamia nuts, grape tomatoes, avocado, the cara or blood orange, raspberries, blueberries, cilantro, mixed greens, cinnamon, dark chocolate. In my case, I have dark chocolate covered almonds, but he uses the undutched really high-end processed dark chocolate. Spermidine, he uses NMN, olive oil, and again, he probably uses the best of the best. What do we have here? Zinc, turmeric, D3, melatonin. I mentioned the olive oil, apple cider vinegar. We have slivered almonds, hemp seeds, and ashwagandha root powder. So, amongst all these things, I can probably put together some nice healthy salads, so take some of these supplements. Again, I don't think I or a lot of people would necessarily want to do 100 supplements literally every day. And I do need to point out, both for myself and Brian Johnson, he does disclaim, as I do right now, I'm not a doctor, I am not a nutritionist, I am not a pharmacist. Anytime you make any alterations to your diet or start taking supplements, please check with your doctor, particularly if you have pre-existing health issues, you're on prescription strength medication. And as I say, Brian Johnson does have a similar disclaimer to that fact on his website. I believe he's doing this for altruistic reasons. It just really boils down to get plenty of sleep. You'll see in his website he does stress 8 hours at a minimum. Eat healthy. He chooses to do vegan, but you can certainly eat healthily if it's not necessarily strictly vegan or strictly raw. And exercise, just some basic components. Now, will we gain a longer lifespan? Who's to say? But you want to be as healthy as you can. And I think some of the principles that he espouses on his website are principles that we can all incorporate. So that's really all I wanted to say today. It is fascinating. It is interesting. If you go on the website, there will be links to his various socials. I mean, I can tell you he's on Instagram, he's on Twitter. Not sure about Facebook or LinkedIn. And really, all you can do is judge for yourself. So that's it. I hope you are all well. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.